Two Sheds Gabby, back with more tales of adventure. Hope everybody's having a great day. I've pulled out a nickel box this morning that I'm going to start going through here in just a moment. Uh, Real quick, here's what I got at the coin machine, coin returns. I got several Canadian coins, a token, a pretty yucky dime, a couple of fine looking coins. No, and I got a Bahamas and Cayman Island coins. So that was kind of fun getting this stuff. I love finding the little surprises you get at the coin returns. Well, I just opened the first row, and almost immediately I come to a 1948, and the S is a semi-key date. There's 11 million made. Let's see what we get. It is not. It is the Philadelphia. They made the most of that one. I think it was, oh, wow, 90 million of this one. 1948 to get us started. Last box I did was really good. I hope I get anywhere close to that today. That'll be fun. My son was with us and grandson over the weekend, and we had a good time together. And we were just talking. I forget what brought it up, but something about things being said wrong. But I can't remember the specifics. But my son was laughing, reminded me of when we were in North Carolina. They were all younger teenagers, and we had foster kids, and almost all of them were in between the 10th and 12th grade. We had older ones. And I would say probably 75% of them, even though they were in the 10th to 12th grade, just couldn't read. It was a pretty sad scenario. But one of the things that they said that we constantly tried to correct them, they would say, cut the lights on. And we're like, you don't cut things on, you cut things off. It's like, oh my goodness. But they were in driving school, and the instructor was was saying, when you want to accelerate, you mash the pedal down, but if it gets stuck, you mash it up. This was the instructor. So I guess the other kids came by pretty honestly. Mash it up. I hope I don't miss anything. Sometimes I get to talking and laughing, and I'm not really paying good attention to what I'm looking at. In the sixth row, I come to a 1946 that I have been finding so many of. But I need to remember to check the R on the back to see if it has that hole to tell you if it's a Henning. You can also weigh them. I don't see any type of hole, I don't think, in that one. Also, in the last few rolls, I found a 59 and a 54. Both of them D. If they had have been the P, the Philadelphia, they would have been relatively low mintage, but the Ds each had over 100 million made. A couple of rolls later, and I come to a 1952. What is that? That is a D. This one's, the S is lower, but the D's this is only like 30 million. I think it's double that for the Philadelphia, but that's relatively low mintage there. Ever since I've made this mintage mat, I'm amazed. I'd never realized these old nickels were so low mintage. Kind of fun. The other day, my wife reminded me of a show that we watched a few years ago, and it's called Hamish Macbeth, an old comedy, and it's funny. It's a funny show. Sometimes those older comedies, like, I guess you'd call it British humor, it's Scotland or something like that, but some of them are terrible. But here's a 59. I think the Philadelphia is the lower mintage, and of course that's the Denver. But it's just a little community that this show is based around. And they've got this road. They call it Three Sheep Road. And here's here's the sign. They tell people, don't go on that road. It's a narrow road. And you can't take 4 sheep wide. You can only go 3 sheep wide. And of course, you know, there's always weird incidences where somebody gets trapped and tries to turn around or something on 3 Sheep Road. Funny show. This guy's gone on to do a lot of famous stuff from what I hear. 9th row, and I find my Canadian nickel that I usually find 1 per box, 1996. 12th row, and here is another 54. Again, the S is the lowest mintage, and then the P, the D, yep, the D has over 100 million made. And that's what we got. 54D. Oh, the next row, I'll come to a 1940. The D and S are lowest mintage. The Philadelphia has over 100 million. And this is the high mintage one, 1940. I hope we get into a little something else in this here box. When I was 20, me and a buddy of mine took off to Texas. We first went to Corpus Christi and pretty much blew money. We didn't get a job there. I think we looked at a couple places, but I don't know. Anyway, we ended up going out to Odessa. We heard that there was a lot going on. There was during one of the oil booms, you know. So we got out there and we found work right away and worked a lot of hours out there in the oil industry. But sometimes we would both be off at the same time. And outside of town, I think it was a little bit west, was a little place called the Odessa meteor crater. And so we were still, you know, drinking beer back then, and we didn't like the bar scene or nothing like that. So we would just grab a 6-pack and drive out to this meteor crater. And here's a few pictures of it. It's nothing substantial looking. When in 1980 there it wasn't, and they had a little museum, unmanned back then. I don't know what's going on today. But we would just sit around there at this crater out in the rocks and hang out and just enjoy the sunshine and drink beer. When people would come with their families, they kind of frowned on us just hanging around out there. I'm in the second half of the box now, and I come to a 1946, and I've already checked out the back and looked at the R, and it does not have that loop in it that the Hennings have for the 46. So I'm guessing that's not a Henning. The next row, I'll come to a 47. It is a D? Yeah, that looks like an S, don't it? Did they make an S that year? That must... Oh, yeah. Cool. Sorry about that. 24 million of the 47S. That's pretty low mintage. But I don't see anything on that R. I don't think all of the 47s had the loop in the R. It weighs exactly what a regular one is supposed to weigh. That's an S mint, though. That's cool. You know, I didn't even see what mint marks Henning made. I didn't even look that up. I probably should. I just came across another Canadian. For some reason, this one's really dark. I don't know why. Real dark, 1989. See? So I just looked. Apparently, none of the Hennings have mint marks. So there's a clue for me for the future. If it's got a mint mark, don't look any further. What's that? 1953. Philadelphia. Well, I found several of older coins, but we ain't found nothing else yet. I am in the 7th row in the second half, and I'm looking at two from the 40s right here. Here's a 1946. Oh, that's another S, San Francisco. Well, that's kind of cool. And then we come to a 48. I wish this one was an S, and it's not. Bummer. Well, there's two more to my collection. Hope we find something, like a 2024 or a silver or something like that. We're starting to wind down toward the end. 10th row into the second half of the box, and here is another 1940. And it's again Philadelphia, the one with the highest mintage. Well, I just laid out the 12th row, and I finally came across something that I like. The second coin right there. Haha. There we find something. Is there a date? No date. Nick a date might find something for us. Well, that's pretty cool. We finally found something that that I really consider the extras, I guess you'd say. A buffalo nickel. Very cool. Very cool indeed. Well, this year, later this year, come September, will be mine and my wife's 40th anniversary. And one of our favorite places to go is, Put-in Bay Island up in Ohio. There's a 1958. Denver, that's the one that has a lot of them. We're really, really, really hoping to get up there this year. It's just relaxing. Man, we get out, we take a ferry out to the island, and then we rent a golf cart for the day. And we just cruise around the island and stop for lunch, and if it's hopefully a warm day, we'll stop and get our feet in the water. There's a 54. Take some pictures and just enjoy the island. It's a lot of fun. For us, we like it a lot. But when I met my wife, I was working a couple of jobs. I was working at the prison, and I met her. She was working at a gas station convenience store at the time. I think she was also doing a part-time job at a flower, a place that did roses, and she sorted roses and that sort of stuff. The very next row, I come to a 1941. What is this one? 41 Denver. I'm getting a handful of the older coins, which is cool, but I'm still hoping to get a silver or a 24 or something like that. Or maybe a dated buffalo would be cool. But a couple of the items that was at my wife's apartment when I met her, she had this great big towel, and I was used to just medium-sized towels. And so I kind of commandeered it, and that became my towel for years and years to come. And it is so worn out now that it's put away. You still have it, but it's just put away. And she had a fork in her drawer in the kitchen. This one right here. And I loved it because this handle, it's such a good thick handle. Because some of them are round. Man, they just turn in your hand. I hate that. I loved this one. And so I said, that's mine. So these are two things that I got in my dowry, was the towel and the fork. Seems like there was a third item, but I can't think of what it is right offhand. I claim those mine forever. She liked me enough, she gave them up. I have just come to a 1948 here, and it is a Denver 48D. The S was the semi-key date there. I don't remember. It may have been, I guess it's before I met her, my wife. She had ordered a set of dishes from, I think it was Finger Hut, and she said what a mistake that was, and had to make payments on it, and it was these round ends. Was it wooden handles? Oh, she can't hear me. We hated them. Couldn't stand them. 3 rolls left in the box, and we find the 2024 P. The D is a little bit more desirable, but it's still fun to find one. Well, that's cool. It's a nice one. Phew, found something else. That was good. 3 more rolls to go, and we will be done. Right at the end of the last row, I find a 1941. And it's a Philadelphia. There was over 200,000 of those made. And we are finished with the box. Well, we did get a dateless Buffalo and a 2024 P. You guys got a few minutes? Let's open another box. I am in the 7th row in the second box, and I come to a 1942. And man, I hope it's silver. It might be. It might be. Let's see. It's not. That's a bummer. I was really hoping this one might be. Okay, well, I did want to say I have found 2 1956s and a 1940. In this box, to speed it up just a little bit, I'm not going to come on video every time that I find, like one from the 40s. I'm only going to come on if I find a, key date or semi-key date or a Buffalo or silver or just something like that. But I will report as I go all the other things that I might find. So trying to speed it up a little bit. This is the next row, but I thought I would break in. This is a 1987. It's not real old, but it's in super nice condition. It's a Denver, and it has the stairs. I hope you can see that. That's super nice. So I think I'll keep this guy. I'll put him away in a 2x2 or something because I think that's worth keeping. That's pretty neat. Looks like I found a dime in this row, so that's always fun. Where is it? There it is. Wowzers, I've gone through 20 rolls now, and I've picked up a couple of 58Ds, 2 more 1940s, the Philadelphia and Denver, another 42 that's not silver, it's Philadelphia, 1969 D penny. I did check it for any varieties and nothing. I got my Canadian, I got my dime, 1987 D full steps. That's where we're at. That's all we've got so far, and we're not quite halfway done. First roll in the second half of the second box, and I come to a Buffalo nickel, not in great shape, clearly no date, quite worn, but it's still fun to find them. Still fun to find them. Ooh, that rim is gone. Wow. Oh, anyway, I did a few rolls back, found a 1947. I tell you, these boxes, these 2 boxes weren't the best. So, well, I still got a half a box to go, but first half hasn't been fabuloso. There is a 1941 Philadelphia. I think I said a few weeks or so ago that we went ahead and got that Sirius XM radio, and we were on a little road trip yesterday, I think it was. Might have been the day before, doesn't matter. But we were listening, and now we're listening to 70s vinyl channel, which I'm liking quite a bit. And there was a song came on by the Eagles. I can't even remember which one it was, but it's one of the really, really popular ones. And me and Beth, and me and my wife, we both kind of agree that I don't know we don't dislike the Eagles, but they're just not our favorite. Even though they were super popular, it just neither one of us, I think both of us had their greatest hits album in our collection when we met. And neither one of us played it. Because when it's like, okay, let's sit down and listen to music, even though that one's in your collection, that's not the one I sat down and played. And she agreed. Next row. Okay, here's the next row. And and we were talking about it, and it's funny because you all probably know where we got it. You may not think of it right offhand. If you're anywhere in your 60s, where would you have possibly gotten the Eagles' greatest hits album? Columbia Record House. You're going through the list, the 11 records for 99 cents. And and you're trying to pick out your selection, and you're running out of options, and you take the Eagles' greatest. I'm not knocking the Eagles. Please understand that. It's just funny how that happened to both of us. We both got our greatest hits from them through Columbia House, and they had the thing, if you spend an extra $1.49 for one more record, and that'll take care of one of the records you promised to buy over the next 2 years, because you have to buy, I forget, 5 or 6 or 7 or something at regular price over the next period of time. And man, they would send out the mean letters when you wasn't buying them. So funny. I wonder what percentage of people bought all the records in that they were supposed to buy. I don't think I did. I think I bought 1 or 2, and then I would just quit for some reason. When I was young, I was in and out of town, moving around a lot, and whatever was behind me is behind me. Finally, the 8th roll into the second half of the second box, we get a silver. Man, beginning to wonder. Philadelphia, 1945. Well, now we're getting somewhere. That's cool. So glad to see that. I found a couple more from the 47, 41, 56, 47, and another penny, 2023. That's what I have come across the last several rolls. Of course, you saw that Buffalo. And then we get our silver. Yeah, that's cool. Alrighty. Well, my brother just wrote to me. Usually Tuesdays are our night that we get together and have our Bible study, and we hang out. Other than that, and he just wrote a little while ago, and he's not going to be able to make it tonight. We're disappointed, so kind of changed. She's trying, like, now what do we do for supper? She had a pack of chicken. I said, just make a big thing of chicken vegetable soup. And so that's what she's doing. I think she was going to do a pot pie, but with just the two of us, we're going to go lower carb. So we're going to do the soup. And she went to get some broth out of their pantry, and there was no more chicken broth, so she pulled out turkey broth. This looks like an older one. 72. It's just born. And it reminded me of a saying I heard, I think in a movie, poultry. It's just another way of saying chicken. But I can't remember where I heard it. I think it was a movie. For the life of me, was it maybe Bonnie and Clyde? If you remember a movie where the person said that, in a kind of a funny way. Poultry is just another way of saying chicken. Let me know. I'd love to remember where I heard that. Look there, another dime. That's 2 dimes and 2 pennies in this box so far. Huh. The very next row looks like another penny. Oh, what year is that guy? 88, I guess. Just 10 rows to go and I'm done. This guy was apparently hanging out with the wrong crowd. And I found another 47. Second to the last row. And I come to a 2009 Philadelphia. Shoo, I was thinking I wasn't going to get anything else. 2009. Well, at least that's one more to add to the 2 boxes. It was just yesterday my son and grandson left, and I don't know, I guess it's, it's a sign of the times, but it's disappointing to me that my grandson doesn't know how to be creative because he lives with the video games, and everything he does is related to something that he plays on a video game. I mean, all of his characters that he has are related to his video games. It's just, I don't know. I remember as a kid, that looks like an old one. When I was 1949, an S would be nice. It's a D. 1949 D, cool. You got your little kid, you're just out trying to find something to do, picking up sticks or whatever. I can remember laying down in the backyard with the sun in my face and watching the clouds and just making, trying to find faces in the clouds, stuff like that. And I would, then I'd turn over and spread the grass apart and look at the bugs. I remember getting a pail of water. Our backyard had a downward slant. And I'd pour out a bucket of water and then run down halfway through the yard and lay down and spread the grass and watch for the water to come creeping down through, watching the bugs run and stuff like that. I don't know if a kid has done that in 30 years. Let's just go through the last row here and see if anything else shows up. I don't want to come off sounding like my grandson's not intelligent or anything like that. I'm just saying they don't have the imagination, that kids just don't seem to have much of imagination anymore. That's what I'm saying. Unless they can relate it back to this video game. He goes out, don't get me wrong, he goes out in the yard and he plays. But when I hear him talking, he's using characters that he gets from his video games. I'm sure that is an imagination, but to me, it's sad that everything has to revert back to that. You can't just make up characters and, I don't know. Maybe it's just old fogey thoughts. I've also read studies that too many hours, for youngsters, having too many hours in front of these screens is not good for your development. I've read that too. So anyway, my contractor has a nephew who has a YouTube channel. I don't know what it is, where he does gaming and he makes a ton of money. So I guess there is that. That's it, folks. There's one more. Well, we do have a silver. Let me pull out my 2025 silver box. Alrighty, here we go. We add one more silver to the box for 2025. This makes 19 for the year so far. Well, 2 boxes. I did get a stack for 50s and 40s. I got 2 no-date Buffaloes, 2024 P, 2009 P, couple of dimes. Oh yeah, I got this guy too. Full steps. I looked up on eBay. They sell for about $5. But this coin here, if I keep it in this condition, this will only go up in value as long as collecting stays popular. That is it. Oh, I got a letter from one of you guys from Delaware that went through 5 boxes in nickels and got 12 silvers. That's all. I'll go through 12 boxes and get 5, it feels like today. But anyway, I did get one to add to the 2025 silver. You guys have a good one, and give me your comments. Let me know what you think.